Hi friends, you're welcome to the channel. And the channel today want to look at, in the lesson today want to look at um, parts of the poem that we started, and that was Caged Bird by Maya Angelus. We have looked at the background of the poem and of the poets. So today we want to briefly discuss the foregrounding notes on the poem. And under this, we are going to look at the structure of the poem, the subject matter of the poem, and the form of the poem. Maya Angelou's Caged Bird is a 40-line poem crafted in 5 enjambments, or you call it run-on lines, which made up of 4 main clauses and 1 subordinate clause. Precisely, these features is the poem, the features in the poem were marked off with the rhythmic device called the major caesura. And I said once before that caesura has to do with a pause within the lines of poetry. The presentation technique appears barely conventional, and it goes on to pinpoint the fact that the subject matter raised in the poem, that is Caged Bird, is intense and not a picnic. Again, in structural presentation, the subject matter is woven around a contrast, showcasing some 2 lines of divide, that is the lines of separation. One is a joyful, free-flying bird, a bird that is free, no restriction at all, while the other is a manacled or tied down, encaged, cheerless bird. So this is the 2 divide, contrast between these two. The contrast as above highlighted switches into 2 pieces of symbolism, which in turn throws up the pieces of message elicited, that is showed in the poem. Um, the poems, the joyful free flying bird is symbolism for the white Americans. That is, they have freedom as to whatever they intend to do. The tied down and caged cheerless bird is symbolism for the black Americans. The propelling force of the joyful free-flying bird is similarly the one behind the caging of the other bird. However, the bird, in turn, is enraged in that position. Of course, it refuses to be silent perpetually about the pains of the manacle. The bird, in strong will, chooses to be singing to far, near, and wide of his desire to be free unconditionally. So, the bird song is not ambiguous. When we say ambiguous, it is not dicey at all. It has no 2 faces. Its desire for freedom from all facets of manacle is so clearly spelt. So, the noted pieces of symbolism above, the freed one and the one that is caged, transmit the message dealt within the poem as the reasons for the black Americans' engagement of the whites in intense rights activism to fight for their freedom and equal rights with the whites over the ownership of the land of America. So this is what is seen around us day by day, where the blacks amongst the Americans are being deprived of their rights as part of the ownership or the citizenry of the land called America. So that is about the structure of the poem. The second one is the subject matter of the poem. And don't forget that when we say subject matter, this has to do with the backbone or the paramount points or the message that a literary writer is trying to pass to the audience or the readers and the society. So, by the way of subject matter, the poet of Cagebird is the storyline or the streamline of a Cagebird is a reminiscence over the trauma faced by the Black Americans in their course of engaging the whites in intense activism to get their freedom. If you could remember vividly, recently, where a black man is being chased by the white police, and when the man stopped, he was asked of everything which the man showed them. But later, the man was embarrassed. Even there was one, I couldn't remember the name vividly any longer, where he was what? Held against the ground until the man gives up the ghost. So this is what this poet is talking about, the freedom of the blacks amongst the whites. Caged Bird is a poem in which symbolisms are deployed to give insights into the conflict underscored in it. Thereby, the two specific symbolisms of a freely flying bird that dares to claim the sky. That's an extract from the poem. Dares to claim the sky. That is the one that is what? Free. There is freedom for that. No restriction as such. So this symbolizing the white Americans. And a caged and tied down bird in utmost rage just left there to stand on the grave of dreams. This extract is also symbolizing the black Americans. Indeed, show the following pieces of a grounding message located in the poem. Fight for freedom against oppression. That is, the black Americans should be entitled to live in absolute freedom, not to be caged. And also fight for freedom against discrimination. That is, the black Americans should be qualified for all social advancements and good conditions of living as the whites. There should be balance of equality. Fight for freedom against racial prejudice. That is, the potentials of the black Americans must be recognized and accommodated in running the American nation. And another one is fight for freedom for equal rights as the whites over ownership of America. The emotive efforts put to bear by the black Americans to really actualize success constitutes the sociological pieces of the message in this poem. In lines 1 to 7, the free-flying bird tries and lays claim to the sky. However, between lines 8 to 21, with its song sang with a fearful thrill of things unknown. That is an extract from the poem. The caged bird raises a dispute. The flying bird does not only own the sky. That is a metaphor pieces for the nation of America. That is, American nation is a joint heritage of the black and white Americans alike. In other words, suffering in silence should not be condoned by the blacks. With all the force it can muster in lines 22 to 27, the free-flying bird names every part of the sky its own. That is, the white-colored people. And the caged bird, with benefits of its history and standing on the grave of dreams, that is an extract, totally refuses to yield. This time, its song is so much powerfully sent to the nooks and crannies of the universe and earth. Yes, an instance which is seen recently, like 3 4 months ago, when blacks in America are maltreated. The next thing is putting them in jail. So, also, in other words, any person or group of persons battling suffering must be resilient until good results is gained. That is, it must not back down midway. In similar vein, betrayal tendency must be nipped in the bud outright. So, the story and essence of a battle must never be consigned to a quiet relay. It must be told with the appropriate propaganda. So, this poem is all about the uh, the barrier or the barricade between the blacks and whites in United States of America. This is what the poet is trying to showcase to the whole world so that we will know what is happening over there. And that is one of the functions of literature. If you are not there through the literary works, you will know what is going on there. The next thing is form of the poem. Form-wise, Maya Angelou's Caged Bird is both historical and analytical. It is historical because the incidences that had happened in the past is shown or traced by the poet, and also analytical in the sense that everything is clearly seen as used narrated by the poet through its conveyance in the diction used by the poets. The poem is historical because it is a sort of reminiscence. I would say reminiscence, it means remembering something of the past. Over the era of the Black Americans' enslavement and oppression by the white Americans. If you want to note this quite all right, I will recommend a movie for you to watch. It is titled When They See Us. If you watch the movie, you will know precisely what this poet is talking about. And also, the reminiscence is about the era the whites were subjecting the blacks to discrimination and racial prejudice. Maya Angelou's Caged Bird is analytical in form because it highlights the correctness of the rights activism methods exploited by the Black Americans to get themselves set into unconditional freedom. That is, the blacks, they want their freedom as part of the ownership of the United States of America, in as much their citizenry is from the land. So this is how far we can go in today's lesson as we try to look at the foregrounding notes on the poem Caged Bird written by Maya Angelou. Stay tuned on this channel. Don't forget to share the video, share the channel, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, enable your bell for more videos to come, and remain safe. Thank you.